claimed the strikes were, quote, completely and totally efficient, obliterating Iran's major nuclear enrichment facilities. If that's true, that's great news. But the problem is he and international nuclear observers cannot confirm that.
They're going to have this stuff dispersed into goat sheds, underground parking lots, and they're going to have the young scientists who weren't killed in the attack, because they brag about they killed all the old hands. No, it's a young guy who has his doctorate, who's 30 years old, who's going to be the Oppenheimer of Iran, and they are going to crash build an atomic bomb, because if they detonate one, then all the threats from America and Israel evaporate.
You were right. Trump's bluster and braggadocio, which he stated within minutes of the completion of the attack, was not backed up by intelligence. You said Trump has a penchant for exaggerating the slightest event as a monumental, earth-shattering, stupendous, and the best in the world's history. But in matters like this, Malcolm, you're right. It's, we can laugh at what a blowhard is, but this is literally life and death, right?
Look, you are looking at mental illness, gross incompetency, complete and total white supremacist arrogance, all wrapped up in a nutshell, and it is going to kill Americans. It has already killed people who were depending on our food supplies that are literally rotting in warehouses all over the world. Now, between all of those foreign policy things, tie it in with this incompetence, this gross, the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind that is about to happen here by giving Elon Musk and other billionaires all this money, and it's literally starving children, taking money from Head Start, from food programs, and Meals for Wheels. We are now a shameful country. We don't even rank in the top 20 happiest countries in the world.
We have so much food rotting in our fields in California, Malcolm. It's not. You're absolutely right.
And I'm sorry. It's going to rot. And here's what else is going to rot. You're not getting your buildings built. Your universities are not, and like at Auburn, not getting built. None of these contractors are coming back to these jobs. I had a MAGA lady on last night who actually complained that she didn't have manpower. And the one guy who had the video of him with his all-white crew who were sitting there, who refused to work, who would sit on their phones for 10, 15 minutes on the hour, he said he can't get them to work, and now he regrets ever voting for Trump. Too late. The leopards have already eaten everyone's face, and now it's time for the leopards to come for all of us, because these people are selfish, self-centered, and I'm sorry, mean-spirited, and hateful. Yeah. That is the definition of MAGA now.
Yeah. No, I was saying something broke in me yesterday, Malcolm, when I saw them giggling in front of what looks exactly like Auschwitz. Giggling, laughing, joking about alligators eating. People haven't been charged, not only haven't had due process, haven't been charged with any crime, or at best a misdemeanor of, yeah.
There's a blog out there called, I think it's the Deportation Report. Yeah. And what they do is they analyze the information that comes from Homeland Security. They said of the criminals, a criminal would have been anyone who had a misdemeanor or any interaction with law. Only 7% of everyone that they've taken in has any kind of involvement with law enforcement. Yeah. 93% are just people who were here paying their taxes, getting their taxes taken out of their money, selling flowers on street corners. This is disgraceful. And this is where the next No Kings needs to move, right? We need to mobilize this nation again, not just for the defense of Latinos, the defense of all of us. And if we have to go to general strikes, I think we're going to be primed for it this summer.
Yeah. Let me just finish a little bit from your piece about Iran. You just said, Operation Midnight Hammer was certainly militarily significant, but not historically extraordinary. Let's be honest, the strike was simply a long-range bombing attack that went off without any hiccups. You said it was not even as secretive or risky as the raid to kill bin Laden, but that doesn't count, Malcolm, because the black guy did it. Right. Now,
there you go. There you go. Hit the music.
When the black guy did it.
Ooh. But you
Just keep it on speed dial because it explains literally everything that's happening to us.
But you make another great point. You said the problem with the B-2 strike was that the mission executive objective seemed to rely on the presumption the Iranians would never move it. That's a laughable assumption. In fact, we should have assumed that the day Israel started the war, moving and dispersing the material would be their highest national priority. That appears to be the case.
Yeah. And did I point out a little earlier that it is 881 pounds of weapons grade atomic bomb material? And all it would take, we may have hit the centrifuges, but we found out that the Isfahan site was so deep that even these GBU-57s that were built to take out the Fordow facility couldn't even start to crack that place.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be down there.
Yep.
They're going to have this stuff dispersed into goat sheds, underground parking lots, and they're going to have the young scientists who weren't killed in the attack because they brag about they killed all the old hands. No, it's a young guy who has his doctorate, who's 30 years old, who's going to be the Oppenheimer of Iran, and they are going to crash build an atomic bomb because if they detonate one, then all the threats from America and Israel evaporate.
Let's end on even a worse note. Yay!
Wow.
You retweeted Betty Bowers, who said Elon Musk warning about Trump's abuses while wearing a Trump was right about everything cap underscores what a stupid, dishonest time we're living in. I mean, oh my God. All right, Malcolm, best of luck to all of us.
Yeah, stupidest timeline in history.
Ever. Love
and
you.
If you ever get Betty Bowers on, give her my number.
She's been on.
She's been on. We love her.
on, yeah.
She's America's best Christian.
Yes.
All right. Love you.
Best
Bye,
Christian.
Malcolm.